All right, Saturday. It's Saturday. I did a little work to this Friday. Not much. I just wasn't into it. Yeah. So I got my wires down through the top here. This hole was already here, so all I had to do was pull the old wires out and put the new wires in. And but I had to add this one over here because now I'm running thicker wires. See, this is my main power in, my main feed off the battery right here. So what I'll do, I'll end up putting some caulking or something on there. Silicone, RGB or something around the whole thing. This will be my ground. I'll run a wire from here up to the box right there. That'll ground that and ground that. Run the ground wires to the lights. Back to that bolt. And so you got my antennas on. Got my power. I'm going to reroute one of these here so I don't fall off the ladder. Yeah. So yeah, there's my control wires. I need to put the ends on there and plug those into the relays. So all I need is 16 gauge for that. Now this, I could have run a smaller one, but I wasn't thinking at the time. I went and drilled it out. Oh man, this wire's too small for that, but it'll work. It'll do. What I've got to do now is wire up these lights here. These are the 75 watt HIDs. So they're pulling what, 6 point something amps each. And then, so I'm running them in pairs, so they're 12 amps a pair. These are the, damn, body's hot. These are the ballasts for the lights. Now I'm running extra heavy wire to these. I really didn't need to. I could run 10 gauge and they'd be fine. So going a little overboard here, but that'll work. So I got them wired in pairs right now. I got them wired inside and outsides. So where they come together is where I'm gonna splice them together with this one. See, this is for the this little white one right here is the positive for this one, and the red one there goes to the positive of the one on the far outside. I'm going to change these lenses out to the driving beam lights. So let me show you what I use for this, because you don't want to run your wires through the steel top there. You might short something out, right? Now see, these are pretty cool right here. This is what I ran on the ammo box. Drilled my hole, popped that through, run my cable through, and then it's got, see, there's like a little seal on there. When you tighten this up, it squeezes down. It's got like a little silicone bushing in there or something, some kind of rubbery thing. The problem with this, it's not thick enough. It's not long enough to go through the top, because the top's double. It's double walled. You got the outside and then you got the inside. See, like over there, you can see it's double. So you need something longer. So the best I could do was a plastic nipple. 2.5, let's see, 3 inch. I think it's a 3 inch plastic nipple, 1/2 inch nipple. Works out fine. And then you put a little lock nut on there, a little ring like that. Lock it in. Push it through, push your wire through. Now it's insulated from shorting out. Here's my ground bolt. I went and ground the paint off there, so make sure it makes good chassis ground contact. And then I'll run just one more wire back to the battery. one wire back to the battery, which is just kind of extra, kind of redundant, but it'll make sure I got a good chassis ground all the way through. Make sure everything's grounded. Oh, here's another issue I got. Getting all these wires on here behind this plastic, these plastic panels. See, I notched this right here for those, but I don't think this big wire is gonna tuck under there as good. So I'm probably gonna run it exposed and then strap it up to the panels. Don't like it, but yeah, because I got all these wires. I got CB wires, ground wire, it's power wire. We'll see what happens. And then from there, we'll run it under the carpet. Yeah. Under the carpet, up around, into this box over here where my amps are, because in this box I got the main feed from the battery right there. This is a O gauge coming right off the battery. So it's O gauge, goes into this block, splits up. I got four connections there, and the 4 gauge to the roof will plug in there. So at least that's done. Dang, it's hot in here. Dang it. It's my switch panel. This has to be wired up and put back in place. Wow, hey, out there, it is Sunday. I'm still wiring lights. I've been doing a little bit every day. One reason is I just haven't felt like doing it. It's like, I haven't felt like doing anything. And I tried to get into it, and it's like, geez Louise. So I just do a little bit. Yeah, but I'd like to get this over with, you know. So the big plan was yesterday to get into this. Yeah, we're gonna knock this out. Well, it didn't work out that way. It's just what happens, you know. I get that way sometimes, and it's like, geez. So I got my stuff on the roof wired, except the main power. I need to have that crimped down. I'm gonna have to take it down to my buddy's house and borrow his hydraulic crimper for that. But inside, I've got my wires run down. Let's see if I run this right. Yeah. This 4 gauge wire would not fit behind the panel, so I had to run it like that, but that's okay. Shoot. Yeah. Ran everything under the carpet, take the seat out. It's the best way to do it. You don't want to be fighting with the stupid seats and all that. Up through the carpet here, into the console. All this wire right here is just for the amplifiers. Ins, outs. Ground. This is the old ground. I'm just going to leave the old ground. Just ground it onto the seat bolt right there. I don't want to start another project. Yeah, here's the feed up to the roof. This is the feed, the red wire is the feed off the battery. 0 gauge. Coming in here, this is only temporary because this is a whole other project here to mount this stuff in the console. I had some ideas, but it's like, geez Louise. It's a whole other project. So temporarily, 12 volts in, splits up to this block from install gear. Pretty nice stuff, decent quality plastic. 4 gauge in, 4 gauge out. 0 in, 4 out. This is a 6 gauge, I believe, or 8. Going out to my amp, just some wire head laying around. Good enough. Get that thing running. What I just finished right now, was putting my switch panel back in. I had to run new wires to that. So I've got, first of all, you need a power source. So I still need to run that back to the distribution block, but to get it in the dash. I need a power source, I need a ground. You need the ground just to operate the LED lights. That's all the ground's for. So you got to power in, and you got to split it up for the 6 switches. Yeah, and then there's 6 wires going back out again. So all that takes a lot of time, wiring all this little stuff together. And then, yeah, it looked like a bird nest, but yeah, shove all the wires back in the panel, behind the panel, and screw the panel in. So that took a bit of time. So with my switches here, I've got rooftop, the KC HIDs, 1 pair, 2 pair. Then I got the rear lights, the dust lights, and then the backup lights, which will be LEDs. And then this one here will be to the front lights. I still got to run that wire out. And this is an extra. It's a dummy light. Dummy. Yeah. I should make that a kill switch, huh? Who would know? I still could. It won't be that complicated. But like I said, that's another freaking project. This is a nightmare right here. See all these wires under here? Here's the O gauge wire. This is control wire and CB antenna wire and Sirius radio wire. A ground from the roof. It's just going to a chassis ground right here. And that other red wire there is going back to the battery, so we know everything's actually has a good ground. I've got to run the ground still from the switches to that little screw, and then run my hot wire back under the carpet, back into here, and back to this distribution box here. And then I'll still have to run one more wire for my CB radio. It's one more ground. Oh, shoot. Yeah. It's one more. Yeah, and one more ground, one more power. Holy smokes. I guess it would pay to have somebody else do this. It's freaking tedious work. And if you're a big person, you know, crawling in and out of the truck and trying to get underneath the dash. I mean, I still got to secure all this stuff. I mean, like over there, you know, I left the seat in because I really don't need to get under the dash too bad. Sitting there, you got to lean forward to hook the wires up, and the steering wheel's kind of in your way. It's just like, damn. And I must have made a dozen trips to the hardware store for supplies. I mean, I've been doing stuff like this for years, and I've got all kinds of junk. This is just one box of junk I've got from years of dicking around with this stuff. I got switches, and these are actually really good switches. I got these in Tacoma. These are my Tacoma switches. Yeah, I got switches and bulbs and more switches and wires and stuff I don't even know. This is an old fuse. CB microphone mount. Just all kinds of stuff. There's times I just want to throw this stuff in the garbage. And there's other times I go, oh, I think I got some of that somewhere. Yeah. Like every now and then you might need a wire. I got some wire. Oh, stupid. And yeah, this is the stuff I have just for this project. There's another fuse block, distribution block. Zip ties and nuts and bolts and screws and washers. Hey, Derek out there, I think you still need one of these. Last picture I saw of your Bronco, you're missing a couple of lights. I got them. These are extras. I'm switching them out. I'm taking the driving range, yeah, the long range lights out, and I'm putting in the driving beams, the driving lights. So I've got some extras, and I got a lot of extra bulbs too if you want them. They're just sitting there collecting. I got about a dozen of them. So it's Monday, and I thought I'd let the batteries charge themselves and run the engine a little bit and check my voltages. I'm getting 14 volts off the alternator. I like this radio because it tells you how many volts right here, see? The issue I'm having right now is why is it idling so high? I haven't done nothing to the engine. The engine, hey, what's up with my odometer? No odometer? Oh. Could be that I took a fuse out, huh? Maybe, I don't know. Wasn't planning on working on this right now. I'm killing time. I'm killing time because I gotta go and get a TB test, you know, tuberculosis test. The state called me last week. Yeah. The state of California called me last week and want to know if I'm interested in another job at the prison, so I'm like, okay, yeah, might as well, right? My lottery numbers haven't come in yet, so what am I gonna do? So yeah, I'll probably be back at the prison next week. He said after Thanksgiving, so, but I gotta have things taken care of, like background checks and all that kind of stuff. I gotta have a TB certificate, so I want to do that, but I don't want to go during lunch. I hate going to these places. Oh, we're open all day. You go during lunch, like half the staff is gone and they got you sitting there waiting, you know. I don't like going to these places anyway because they're full of sick people coughing and sneezing all around you. It's like, God damn, just get me out of here. Yeah, so anyway, all I did was wire up my grounds and my powers. I still have the power. One more connection to make on the roof. I need a crimper. Gotta tidy up some of these wires under the dash, you know, strap them up with something. Put my CB radio back in, but I need a power cord. I don't know where the power cord went. It's got a special jack in the back plug in. I have to order another one. I gotta order another Sirius satellite radio receiver. Yeah, so maybe when I get back later today, I'll put the fuse in. Hopefully that'll, because I think that fuse also goes to the gauge cluster. There's another issue I have. There's no dash lights. I have to check all those fuses. Starts right up. It's idling. Well, now the idle's normal. I don't understand. I was thinking it had something to do with the grounds, because I ran new grounds, chassis grounds. Even the radio is sounding better now that I ran new chassis grounds. It's really loud. I can turn it way up. Anyway, yeah, so that's what it is. Now it's working. We'll have to put everything together and scan the engine codes again, see if it's got anything. That's it for now.